is Sunday, July 10th, 2022, and here's this week's balcony garden update. Now, you probably noticed that last week there was no update. I did do a video, and I'm going to incorporate it into this one. It never did get uploaded properly. I'm not quite sure what went wrong there, but anyway, here we go. Well, the weather hasn't been so great this week, but finally get a chance to show you what's growing here. This hot pepper's nice. On the balcony here. These peppers are starting to grow nicely too. These are the mild ones. The first ones to show were the hot ones. You can see nice budding on this plant. And I always like to feature this lemon plant. It's just got a bunch of leaves on it. And also got a nice healthy green onions. Okay, so here's the hot pepper plant. You can see some peppers growing on it. I'm gonna pick this one. Now this one here, have a look at this. Something looks wrong with this one. A little bumpy, almost looks like a cucumber. There's like kind of like a hole or something in it here. So maybe an animal got to that or something. I don't think much is going to become of this one, but it's still here, the one with the black leaves. And still figure out why that has happened. And we have a Hungarian pepper plant. You can see it's got nice bud on it here. It's also got flowers, so there should be some peppers coming out of that at some point. Here's the tomato plant, one of them anyway. This one's just got some nice green leaves on it. How much progress this one's making. If you remember last year at this time, the plants were much taller and had flowers on them. I think the cooler weather has just made the growing slower this year. Now here's an interesting thing. Here's two of the tomato plants, the cherry tomato plants that were grown from seed. And I'm not quite sure why. These ones aren't growing like tall. They just kind of look like short. But look, there's flowers coming out of them. So I'm kind of baffled by this. And here's one that was planted a little later. Doesn't seem to be growing too much, but a little bit. There's another one. And then one more over here. And you can see these last three. I mean, they're really not growing. They're very, very slow progress. So I'm not expecting great things out of these ones. But always remember, patience is the key. So we got here some pepper plants. You can see they're growing peppers quite nicely here. That one's the hot pepper. This is the mild pepper plant. You can see these ones are growing as well. You can also see the budding up here. Also have the lemon plant here. And we've also got a healthy bunch of onions. These grow really well here on the balcony. Alright, so here's this pepper plant. And there's a pepper on it there. There's another one starting over here. That seems to be about it. Here we have tomato plant. Gradually growing. This is getting taller, but Not quite as tall as they did last year. And we'll keep an eye on that. This one doesn't really seem to be growing. These last ones on the end here, they don't seem to be growing too well either. A little progress, but not too much. Now if you look at these ones over here, this is kind of weird because these ones aren't really growing tall. They do have flowers on them. It's a very weird plant, so I'm not quite sure what's going on over here. Well, we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. So we're having a look here at this plant. Oh, tomato. Well, you can see the little tomatoes on this plant here. A very strange tomato plant. And there's peppers on it. Here's the Hungarian pepper plant. You can see it's got a pepper down here. It's flowering. Got nice buds on it. We got another pepper over here. So this one's growing peppers. That looks pretty good. So as you can see, this year is a much slower start than last year. The temperatures were a lot hotter last year and the plants got a good running start at growing. This year seems to be on a slower pace, but things are starting to progress. I'm not quite sure why a couple of the tomato plants that I put in the ground are so low and not growing tall. Haven't figured that out yet. They do have flowers on them and tomatoes, so that's interesting to see. We'll keep an eye on it and monitor the progress. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.